Money's moving to me. I'm a millionaire. Money better cases. I ain't gotta chase it.
Hey, 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 great evening, everyone. Great evening. Happy Monday to you all. I hope you had an amazing day thus far. So, I'm totally not going to be long before you tonight at all. This is probably going to be one of my shortest Facebook Lives ever. In fact, I had absolutely no intentions on going live today at all, but I was in the process of winding down, literally. And I was having a conversation with my sister friend, Pastor Sean. And as we were talking, I literally said, you know what? Let me do this quick video to talk about this. And so if you're watching me live, let me know where you're watching from, rep your city, rep your country. Let me know where in the virtual building you are watching from tonight. So I was having a conversation with Pastor Sean. And at the end of the conversation, she was sharing how she's able to say no now when needed. And she alluded to the fact that if something isn't serving her, she says no. Now, that's something major, especially if you're someone that is constantly always saying yes to people and you find it hard to say no. It's a challenge to say no. But then it's a different level to have the consciousness of knowing if something is serving you or not. And when she said that, it immediately struck a chord with me because it reminded me, hey, Patricia, how you doing, girl? I haven't seen you in a minute. Miami's in the house. When she said that, it struck a chord with me because it reminded me of a conversation that I had with my good friend Nadine a couple of months ago. And I was sharing with Nadine a conversation and a situation that I was going through. And she said to me, she said, well, is this situation serving you? And I was like, no. In this particular context, no, this situation is not serving me. So if it's not serving you, what are you going to do about it? But see, most of the times we don't think about if something is serving us. We don't think about, is this really giving me the ability to become better? Is this ministering to me? Is this relationship ministering to me? Are the projects that I'm a part of serving me? Are the relationships, the activities that I do on a day-to-day basis, the thoughts that I have on a day-to-day basis, is this serving me for my greater good? Because if any other thing that you're experiencing in life right now, if they're not serving you to become better, to enjoy this experience that much more, why are we attached to them? Why are you attached to something or someone that is not serving you? Well, it could be because you're accustomed to the habit of being around that person, accustomed to habitually saying yes, accustomed to always burning out to serve other people, but not making sure that you're taken care of. We've created habits that don't always serve us, but because it's what we know, we stay in the very situations that are not serving us. But let's take people out of the way for a moment. Let's take activities out of the way for a moment. Let's think about and talk about our thoughts. Are your thoughts serving you to where you feel and become better based off of the thoughts that are in your mind? I'm going to be very honest with you right now. Today was a day where I had to several times I had to challenge the thoughts that were in my mind. Today was a challenging day for me personally and emotionally. There were a lot of things dealing with. I have two family members right now that are dealing with situations that many people, when they face them, they feel discouraged. Hey, Jennifer, how are you? And so, with knowing what they're going through and knowing that I can't physically be there is very challenging. And so, thoughts came to my mind, which then led to emotions, right? Because when you're not conscious, your thoughts are energy. And because your thought is energy, it creates a feeling. This is why the word says that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And so, as I was dealing with the thoughts that were coming to me based on what people were going through that I'm close to, that I love, the emotions started to come to be contrary to what I was believing for. And so, I had to constantly cancel the thoughts, that were trying to come and bring gloom and doom and worry and anxiety. I had to cancel those thoughts to go back into what I know serves me. So when thoughts come to your mind, when conversations come to you, when you hear certain news, you have to say, is this serving me? And if it's not serving me to where it is beneficial for my greater good, I have to cancel it out, and I have to do whatever is necessary to get me back into the frequency in which I can reign and rule in and be happy in. See, when I tell people after every video that I do that you have to only believe until the end, I don't want anyone to ever believe or think that believing is easy. Believing can be a very hard thing when everything around you is contrary to the very thing that you're believing for. And so being conscious of what's going on in your life, the conversations that you engage in, your own actual habits, if they're not serving you to where you can see fruit out of what you're doing, if it's not serving you to become better so that you can be better for other people, if the conversations, the thoughts, the people, and your activity is not serving you, it's time to let it go. And it's not always easy. But the first thing to any type of change is first deciding to change. I think a lot of times people overlook the power of decision and what that looks like. A decision is one of the strongest things that anyone could ever do. Once you decide on something, you eliminate all other options. When you decide on winning, failure can never be an option. When you decide on being whole and healed, sickness can never be an option. When you decide on going forward, quitting can never be an option. So decide if your current relationships, your current activities, the current things that you do on a day-to-day basis, your current thoughts that run through your mind, that you just sit and literally let you move from where you are to feeling a certain way, if those feelings are not serving you, you better tell yourself how to feel. I posted that today on my personal page. Tell your feelings how to feel, and tell your thoughts or tell your mind how to think. Tell your feelings how to feel, and tell your mind how to think. Tell your thoughts how to think. Because if you don't do any of those things, you'll find yourself being led by your emotions. You'll find yourself being led by your thoughts. And if they're not in alignment with what you actually want, you won't like the end result. So the responsibility is on us to cancel out. We cancel a whole lot of stuff, but the things we should be canceling. To cancel out those things that are not serving you, taking those strides, limiting the conversations. You can't just cut them off, right, immediately. But taking the strides to be mindful and to only allow what serves you in your life. Well, I told y'all this is going to be short. I didn't plan on being on here long at all, but I hope that tonight you've made a decision to only engage in any activity and only in relationships that will serve your greater good. Because only then will you feel different, will you have a better experience called life, and push through the emotions and the things and the facts that try to come and tell you otherwise of what your truth is. Your truth is you're whole. Your truth is you're free. Your truth is you are healed. Your truth is you are loved. Your truth is you are rich and wealthy. That is your truth. Listen to the truth, believe the truth, and not the facts. The facts must bow to my truth, and do whatever you got to do to get you in alignment with that truth. That means listening to some music, listen and dance. If that means reading a book, do that. If it means calling a friend to talk and vent and get some counseling, whatever you got to do, just make sure you are in alignment with your truth. All right. So thank you for watching. Until next time, only believe until the end and go get your life blessed.
I'm a millionaire, money better cases. I ain't gotta chase it. I'm a millionaire.
Get your money. It's so funny.